All right, so let's go through, and we have our part here, and we're going to talk about um, our layers, but we're going to do some mild steel, and we're going to look at 3/8 3/8 steel plate, and talk about the pierce and settings and things of that nature, because you get into thicker materials and like your 2KW, it's a little bit different ball game than it is piercing aluminum or cutting aluminum. So let's really go through the pierce options here. So these are my pierce settings for 3/8 hot rolled pickled and oiled plate. I cut a lot of that. And some of you may, I'm sure you probably know what that is. Pickled and oiled plate does not have the mill scale on the plate like a standard type plate would have. So you're not dealing with a lot of that mill scale that's kind of leaves some extra slag and things like that. And to me, it cuts a little better, makes a lot more smoke, but it does seem to cut a little better for me. So this is 3/8 plate. So let's talk about the pierce options I found that work, and I'm going to attempt to explain to you why they work. Now, I'm not going to leave you on this screen staring at these settings the whole entire time I'm explaining this, so we'll kind of bounce back and forth between my pretty face and this screen. I know you're so excited about that, but we'll kind of best way I can explain it is kind of visual stuff. But let's talk about it. So earlier in the video, I decided on 3/8 material to use a 2-stage pierce. A lot of people were saying they were getting just humongous craters when they pierced 3/8 and things of that nature. I figured out just some testing on my own. Excuse me. A way to do this where it doesn't get the big pierce crater and all that stuff on the thicker material. So I want to share that with you. But first off, I want to make you aware that we're using oxygen here. In this machine, it does regulate the oxygen pressure through a valve on the back of the machine. So you can turn it up or down on your screen. Not like the nitrogen for the aluminum. You can't turn the control the nitrogen this way. You have to control it at your regulator and set it. And I know it's a little bit of a pain, but hopefully they're going to get that some type of solution to that for us, where we can do both of these the same way. It would make for much nicer cuts. So I'm kind of trying to work with them a little bit about seeing about maybe getting that done for us. All right, but anyway, let's get into the pierce setting. So I'm going to talk to you about, first off, in order to get a good pierce, especially like on multiple stage pierces, you're going to have to learn to realize what duty cycle is, power, and your pulse frequency. Okay? So let's talk about duty cycle and air pressure. If you see, you'll look at my two pierces. I'm using 3 psi to pierce on the first pierce, which level 2 is the first pierce it makes. Level 1 is the last pierce it makes before it goes into your cutting parameters. Okay? So what was happening was I was seeing a lot of people that were cutting and they have their duty cycle at 50%, and then this one set at 100 or 75%, and it wasn't putting enough heat into the plate to allow them to use lower pressure to make a good pierce. And the way I describe this to people is duty cycle is the lower the duty cycle, the more heat it puts into the part. So think about it like this. If I know all of us have probably at one time have probably used the oxyacetylene torch to cut steel with, And you know, when you heat a piece, just think about this for a minute. If you were to heat a piece of plate cherry red in one spot, and you take 10 psi of oxygen and you hit the lever on that torch, it's just going to blow molten metal everywhere, and it's going to create a big crater in it where you tried to blow through the plate. Versus if you take that same amount of heat that plate up cherry red, then take a minimal amount of oxygen and ease into it, you can make a little bit smaller hole. The laser works the same way. So what I did here was duty cycle. The lower that is, the more it's duty cycle, or some people call it on other programs, call it pulse width modulation. You can get online and do your research on that if you want, and you may have a better explanation than what I'm fixing to give you. But in layman's terms, the lower the duty cycle, so it has more time at 40% to put more heat into the part, because duty cycle is actually determined by time. Like if you put it on an oscilloscope, it only cycles 40% of the time in a second. So it has more lag time on positive and negatives. So it actually creates a bigger window to put more heat into the part. When we bump up here to 65%, we've already got our plate heated up from this, so we don't need as much here. So that 40% going down on it to 40% puts the heat in the part initially, so this 3 psi can pierce, and it doesn't pierce all the way through on the first pierce, but by the time it blows just that little bit of slag that'll come out of it and gets to this stage, this 4.5 psi at 65% duty cycle will blow on through the plate. I have people send me their settings for 3/8, and they've got some of them have up to 4 stages of pierce, and it's not necessary. This is a great pierce point for 3/8. It leaves a little tiny minute hole where it pierces through, makes a really good pierce, and you can go ahead with your cut. So the way this works is we'll do our second pierce. It's at 40% duty cycle at 3 psi. When that's completed, it drops down to this pierce, and I'm doing both of these at 0.394 pierce height. This one pierce time's at 2 seconds. This one's at 1.5 seconds. So when it does the first one, then it steps up to 65% duty cycle, and I increased my gas pressure, oxygen pressure, to 4.5 psi to blow it on through the plate. Then it transfers over to your cut parameters. So your cut pressure, in order to get a good, smooth, slick cut, I cut 3/8 at 8 psi. But that's after you've done your pierce. So you're going to do your first 2 stages of pierce, look real close with the air pressures. Then when it starts to make your cut, it increases to 8 psi. Well, if you were to cut it, pierce it, and try to cut it at 4.5 psi, it's not going to cut all the way through the plate because of the speed of the cut. So you have to have that extra gas pressure on your cut to make it cut all the way through the plate. And then here we increase our duty cycle to 100%, and we increase our pulse frequency, like we talked about earlier, to 5,000 hertz, which makes us establish a finer cut edge, because it's pulsing 5,000 times per second. So you don't get that sawn, like you cut it with a jigsaw type edge. It get not a little serrated looking edge. You'll get this a smoother edge this way. Now our focal point. Another thing I want to point out about steel is our focal point will always be positive. So you following my mouse here, if you'll kind of look at my mouse, so we're at 0.125 right here. Well, if we go up to if we go up to 0.175, that focal point goes in this direction up. If we go 0.050, it goes down more into the plate, which is just the opposite of what you do on aluminum or stainless. You'll be negative on aluminum and stainless, you'll be positive on steel. So just keep that in mind, and you might want to do some research on your setting or focus point. But we'll keep our nozzle height a little higher on this one, is at 042. It just seems to work there, and we're using a 2.0 nozzle at 8 psi to cut 3/8 plate. The main point of this was trying to explain like my pierce settings. So I do want you to be aware that when you set up different levels of pierce, let's say if we added another level, it's going to do this pierce first, this one second, and this one third. It's just the opposite of the way this is labeled. But if you want to check it, the thing to do would be to just change your pierce height and watch it. It'll pierce up whatever this is set at, and then it'll go down to this one. So that's how you figure out in what order it's done. But this, I'm telling you, it does this one first, this one second, and then it goes into your cut parameters. So keep that in mind when you're setting up your pierces for your plate. Another thing is right here. You see all these, steel uses a double nozzle, aluminum uses a single nozzle. So you see all these settings that are like really, really close here. So it's very important, and I can't stress this enough. I do it, I've just made a habit to do it. Every time I change nozzle sizes on steel, on double nozzles, I go and do what they call a nozzle, I calibrate my nozzle. So let me get out of this. I'm going to go ahead and apply this. So I'm going to calibrate my nozzle. So we'll go to we'll go to CNC, and we're going to go right here to cut head. Now, if you'll come down, you see where it says intelligent head pressure calibration. Everybody following? So now, every time you change on the Shop Saber machine, every time you change from nitrogen and go back to double nozzles for anything, you're using oxygen or compressed air, you need to calibrate your nozzle. And the way you do this is you click on your nozzle calibration size, come here, you tell it which nozzle you're using, which single spray, doesn't really even matter. So you never should have to change that on this machine. So we're using a double nozzle. And what I do is I take my nozzle and I take a set of dial calipers and I measure the opening. The 2.0 nozzle that I used last had a .076 hole in the nozzle. So the nozzle opening was .076. And then you do, that's how you know which nozzle you're using. So you do you start your, you set this for oxygen, and you, like I said, it's not going to do it on this because I'm on my PC. You'll hit start calibration, and these, you'll hear the air coming through your nozzle and start giving you voltage readouts here, and let it go until it completely stops. And it's going to say something like this nozzle calibration has been synced with this setting or whatever, and you accept it and say okay. And after it does that, it's going to save it here. So I know the one I just did, like 076, is this 1.9304 is what it actually measures out at. So it calibrated the amount of voltage it uses to give me 4.5 psi or 8 psi or 3 psi all the way up to 10 psi. So it is calibrated to where you get optimal air pressure. If you don't do that, none of this means anything. And you, just because you've calibrated it one time, I don't trust it to use that same calibration again. I just recalibrate it and put a new nozzle. Every time I change nozzles, I just recalibrate it. I don't trust it, to use these that are saved. I just don't do it. So I recalibrate every time. It takes seconds to do it. but it will make a big difference on your cuts, because your machine is actually calibrated to the right nozzle size, so it's giving you the right amount of air pressure. Follow me? That is very important. Like I said, that's one of the things. I had some friends had a machine. Several people have asked, and I just can't get my steel to cut with a double nozzle. I tried a 2, I tried a 3, and I asked, have you calibrated your nozzle? That's something that's not in the book, but you'll get it here, because this is a real world video. I do this every day. This is what we do. I'm telling you, anytime you change from nitrogen back to oxygen or compressed air, calibrate your nozzle. It will make a big difference in your cuts. And the other thing, take your time when you're setting up your cuts and doing your test plates. Don't change too many things at one time. Change one thing at a time, see what difference it makes, and then try changing something else. If it doesn't make any difference, change it back. You're looking in the wrong spot. The last thing I wanted to show you about on the piercing, especially on thicker plate, is the vibration suppression. This is a 3/8 plate, so we want to set it for sheet thickness, and there's different levels. I usually set it to 5 for the vibration suppression for the 3/8 plate. And I think it just kind of helps if you get a little slag on the top of the plate. It just kind of helps get that off and get out of the way, so you can proceed with your cut. But anyway, so we'll go back to cut. If you guys want to pause it and get my settings for 3/8, you're more than welcome to get it and use it and try it, and hope it works out well for you. I'm always willing to share, whether we're on the Shop Saber page or the YouTube channel or wherever. If I can help somebody, I'd be more than glad to try to help. Now, I didn't go through every little thing that this program probably does, but I believe you've got enough information now to get you started with your new machine. And like I said, don't be scared to experiment with things and get your own settings. Now, we've done the pierce, so let's call this a wrap on pierce, and let's go look at our layers settings, and I'm going to show you how I utilize layer settings to get premium cuts.